In with a $12 million prize pool, if you can imagine that. Just before the break, we lost Fire Baldio. Amazingly, before his cash in this tournament, his highest win on Stars was $220 a couple of months ago. He can add $182,406 to that. That's an improvement.
Certainly is.
Can you believe the sums of money for a $215 buy-in? It's just ridiculous.
It's incredible. I wonder what the ROI is.
The ROI is get calculators out.
Yes.
Yeah. Back into the action. We are six-handed. And the players would do a deal. No surprise that they did a deal, right? I mean, you'd have to with the money jumps.
I actually completely agree. The money jumps are huge. I mean, the difference between first and second is $1 million. You know, it's almost double. And obviously for the buy-in, the sum of the money in relation to the buy-in, it's so huge that they really, it was very smart of them to do that. Almost
amazing it wasn't a full final table deal, but it was six-handed. We'll confirm the payouts as the players go out. They would still be playing for $200,000 for first, and we'll get back into the action. So we've got a big hand here. Raise,
you could say that.
Bet. Yeah, and then Tuna Fish. This is what dreams are made of.
I mean, yeah, Tuna Fish, this is an absolutely wonderful setup for him. He's got ace, king, tens, and he's got aces.
What do you do with tens here? Suddenly they're...
Cry and fold.
Yeah.
It's a good fold by First Eagle.
I hate it when you do that and they both turn over ace, king. That's when I really cry. Tuna Fish in great shape to double up here. Skunk Den's made it interesting on the flop. Well, the random number generator certainly has. There's a king. If he could find another one, he could bad beat Tuna Fish out of this, but no. Huge pot for Tuna Fish. Massive. Biggest pot so far, I think.
Bet he wish they'd made the deal right now.
Yeah. Exactly that. So a good fold from First Eagle keeps him... Well, we've got three players above the 100k mark and Blabar just below it. Skunk 10 will be your short stack on the button here.
Tuna Fish is having a think. Nope, he passes Jack 7 onto Blabar with Ace King.
And he's thinking about it, but it is the standard min raise.
Well, I expect we're going to see a shove from Skunk Den, and there it is. Pocket sixes. He's only got just over 12 big blinds, 13 big blinds. It's a very standard situation for him to shove there, and Blabar will call, and it's a classic coin flip.
Huge coin flip for both these players in their poker lives, and Skunk Den survives the flop. Just needs to fade the turn and river, gets the turn done. One card away from being right back in this. And that's exactly what happens. His hand holds up, and suddenly Blabar is the short stack. Got to win your flips.
Yes, you do. Well, I'm sure they've won a lot to get here.
Yeah, it's true.
Action on Skunk Den again. Ace Queen.
Makes the minimum raise. Now, if you're dime droll, do you call here? Do you re-raise?
That's a good question, Nick. You can make valid arguments for both. I think Dime Droll's going to continue with his aggression and three bet here, with the intention of calling if Skunk Den shoves, because he can't really 3-bet fold a hand as strong as sevens.
Well, there is the 3-bet. And Skunk Den, any decision at all with this stack size?
I don't think so. How many blinds has he got? 25-ish?
Yeah, about that.
I mean, particularly he's seen Dime Droll being very aggressive. Dime Droll's been 3-betting other people a lot, and there we go. The money's in the middle. Dime Droll's going to have a little think, but I think he has to call.
I guess the only thing is if he thinks Skunk Den is incredibly tight or something weird. Oh, he does fold. Interesting. You perhaps wouldn't have expected it to be a fold.
I mean, yeah, perhaps Skunk Den has been incredibly tight. In which case, Dime Droll, thinks that he's up against Ace Jack plus, and if he thinks Skunk Den's not doing that with sixes and below, then yes, it's a good fold. That's a lot of his stack that he'd have to call off. Personally, I don't like 3-betting to fold a hand as strong as sevens, six-handed, but against that sort of stack size, but.
Interesting hand. It does put Skunk Den into six-figure territory. We'll move on to hand 49. It's folded around to the blinds. Blubber will shove.
Wow, it's a big shove. 6-7 suited. Wow, this is a tough spot for Skunk Den with ace-4 because it's a lot to call off. He stands to have the best hand, but only just, and there's going to be a good percentage of the time that he's going to be shown a hand that dominates him. Well, that's a big flop for Blabber as well, open-ended straight draw.
And he connects. 6 on the turn, vaults him into the lead.
Oh.
And that confirms it. Well, Skunk then doubled through Blubber, and now he gets his revenge. 6-7 cracks the ace-4. Nice.
It's interesting that we're seeing a lot looser play now that the deal's been made. You know, there's a lot of pressure off on the players. You know, the payouts now relatively flat between them all.
It is one of the curious things about tournaments that you can end up playing for money that's out of proportion to what you initially risked. Do you know what I mean? So you're initially risking 200 and now suddenly you're making 6-figure decisions. That doesn't happen in cash poker, you know.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's the scary but the beauty. Scary thing with the beauty of tournament poker.
And it's never been quite as extreme, possibly ever in poker, as it is at this final table, with the disparity between the huge prizes and the buy-in. Dime Droll gets another big pair here.
Well, Skunk Den's having a think. I wonder if he's contemplating a re-steal. There it is.
Oh, it's really unfortunate timing.
Dime Droll must be doing backflips.
Yeah. Pretty nice. I'll just have a raise and a shove in front of me and aces if that's all right. No, you've got to wait the perfect amount of time. It's got to be long enough to sell the fact that you've got a marginal hand, but not too long that it becomes suspicious.
Optimal stalling time.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I'll just flat call. Trying to get Tunafish interested, we can see with ace-6 that that's unlikely. And the Skunk Den will already know that he's toasted Skunk Den. Dime Droll with him in all sorts of trouble. And it doesn't look like there's going to be a miracle. 9 of clubs gives him no help whatsoever. And Skunk Den will leave us in 6th place after the deal. An astonishing, wait for it, $758,000 and change. That's all right for 6th in a poker tournament.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah, congratulations, Skunk Den.
Awesome result. It leaves Dime Droll the runaway chip leader right now. And a lot of parity between the stacks after that. The other 4 players pretty close together at the moment.
That's a good word, Nick. Parity.
Thank you.
Don't hear that used much.
Well, I've been waiting to use it for a couple of weeks now, so it's nice to put it into open play.
Oh, that's interesting. Blabar's just flatted with pocket 3s.
Is this the flat wait for a raise ship manoeuvre? Is that what it is?
Well, I expect so. Dime Droll on cue has re-raised with deuce 9 offsuit, and Blah Blah has shoved it in his face.
I was just trapping you. Dime Droll says, I had 9 high, what do I care? Gets rid of it. On we go 5-handed. 2 million, 4 million blinds. Tunafish will open this pot. It's kind of a slightly weird situation, isn't it, with the 4 stacks so close together, and they also have about 25 big blinds, which is quite a weird stack size as well.
Yeah, it's one of those goofy sizes. You're like, oh, I can't really 3-bet fold. I can't. It feels uncomfortable. You know, too much to shove. It's an interesting situation that everyone's in.
Well, Unstoppable decides to flat call with King Queen, and the flop is a blank for both of them.
There's a continuation bet from Tunafish. That will probably take this down. Ooh. Float by Unstoppable.
Interesting.
I mean, he could well think he has the best hand. You know, if he's seen that Tunafish is apt at c-betting a lot, particularly if he has a bet size tell on him. You know, Tunafish bet quite small on that flop. I don't know if he's been being consistent with that.
Check, check goes the turn, so Unstoppable can now try and take this away.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a reasonable assumption for Unstoppable to think that Tunafish has some kind of ace high, and a healthy size bet on the river will take this down. Oh, he checks. That's...
I play my king high, says Unstoppable.
Yeah, king high's really good. I mean, tuna fish opened under the gun. I know they're only 5-handed, but he's got to have something.
Well, that's something. Is ace high and it's good enough. Nice little pot for tuna fish. On we go, and your chip leader dime draw opens with the ace queen.
First Eagle's not been getting many cards lately, but fortunately for him, he's had a very healthy stack early on. He's just been sat there biding his time, moving up the considerable pay jumps. Action on tuna fish with ace 10. Wonder what he's going to do here. 30 big blinds.
Can't stand ace 10 offsuit in this kind of spot.
You still know what to do with it, do you?
No.
Well, he's chosen to 3-bet.
Yeah, and then you sort of... That's all well and good. And now what happens if he gets shoved on? Or if he gets 4-bet? He does get shoved on. So is he 3-betting to call this? Or 3-betting to fold it?
It's
3-betting to call. Well, he's in nasty shape here. It's a big, big pot, as you can see. Over $250 million.
Oh!
And there's the 10.
That's really unfortunate for dime draw.
Well, he can get out of it. A queen. Oh, he's got a straight draw as well.
Oh, well, that's
no good.
A huge pot. The biggest pot we've seen so far, isn't it, Nick?
Yep.
For tuna fish.
Probably the first $250 million chip pot I've commentated on.
I had to correct you. I was like, not $250 million. Oh, no, it is.
Yeah, it really is.
$250 million.
Pretty gross for dime draw. I mean, he's on his way. He was the chip leader. He'd be just really on his way. Tuna fish gets a massive card for him.
Oh, well, more bad luck for dime draw. He's tried to steal the blinds and antes with the Jack 7 offsuit. And unfortunately for him, First Eagle sat there quietly with pocket aces.
It can be a cruel game, can't it? I mean, we haven't seen dime draw do anything wrong. He's been aggressive. He's, made the right moves at the right time. And in just a couple of hands, he's gone from chip leader to out, it looks like. Barring a miracle here.
And he's impressed me with his play. He's been very aggressive.
I'm going to stop you all feeling sorry for him in a minute, because I'm going to tell you what he's going home with.
Yeah.
No miracle on this one. Dime draw unlucky to go from chip leader to out, but to console him and to change your sympathies, I can tell you that he's going home with $995,996.
And don't forget the 85 cents.
So I'm in the big blind.
Pick up Jack 9.
Playable. The button, he comes in for a small raise.
I call.
See a flop, right?
Flop comes.
Queen 10-8.
Rainbow.
Check.
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 The other guy bets
3 times the pot.
How much?
I smooth call.
Turn comes a 5.
And I check.
He's all in.
I call.
I call.
I got the nuts straight.
Versus trip queens.
With over 1.8 million hands dealt at PokerStars every hour, there's so much to talk about.
The river?
You don't want to know.
Join in at PokerStars.com, the world's largest poker site.
Welcome back, and there's that password for you. The password is Duthie for the online poker show free, which will give you a free shot at a Sunday million seat. Do get involved, it's free. The best price on the planet, $3.35 Eastern Standard Time on the 22nd of December. Back at the action on a 10th anniversary special with ginormous money at stake, and Tuna Fish with that awesome 10 on the flop has put himself in pole position. 4 players still fighting for the title. They've done a money deal, but 200,000 still up for grabs for the win. Pretty amazing stuff. Can't get over the money. I mean, obviously, we play for big money every week on the Sunday Million. There's big tournaments around the world.
Not
but
that big.
Not this big. And not for $200. $215. It's just outrageous stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I'm green with envy right now.
When is the next PokerStars 10th anniversary?
I would wager it'll be in 10 years' time, Nick.
Right. Well, I'm definitely playing that. Blind battle here, Unstoppable and Tuna Fish. And Tuna Fish has got the best hand. Tough to know it on this board, I guess.
I mean, Unstoppable could make a stab at this, trying to represent the ace, but like you said, Nick, it's a very gross board for both of them.
Does go check, check. Nothing changes with that 7.
It's difficult now for Unstoppable to bet and represent anything.
So if you're Unstoppable, you just shut it down and hope somehow you're winning or something.
Yeah, if you didn't continuation bet the flop, then you can't really bet here on the turn. because, like I said, you're not representing anything. Well, he's made a full pot bet